Something big just happened in Las Vegas. The Raiders have shaken up their roster again, and this time, it's raising real questions about what's happening inside the silver and black. 2 roster moves. A surprising replacement. And a decision that has fans talking everywhere. The Las Vegas Raiders just made 2 roster changes, and trust me, these moves could tell us a lot about what's going on behind the scenes. Before we get into the latest updates, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and hit the bell icon so you never miss breaking Raiders news. Alright, let's move on to the new story. The first move involves Jon Rhattigan, an inside linebacker who joined the team after they decided to part ways with Germaine Pratt. Now, Pratt was someone this team depended on, a strong linebacker who brought real energy to the defense. So when the Raiders let him go, it came as a surprise. Nobody expected it to reach that point. Instead of finding a player with the same level of skill, the Raiders brought in another familiar type, a culture guy, the kind Coach Pete Carroll would love. That's exactly who Jon Rhattigan is. He's tough, disciplined, and built around fundamentals. Rhattigan spent 4 years at Army, where he eventually became a starter in his senior year. After that, he played for the Seattle Seahawks from 2021 to 2023, mostly on special teams. He might not be a superstar, but he's the kind of player who brings hard work and structure, something the Raiders really need right now. And that's the bigger story here. This team isn't just filling holes, they're trying to rebuild their identity, one disciplined player at a time. Stay with me, because this might just be the start of something bigger in Las Vegas. The story doesn't stop there. Jon Rhattigan, the new face in silver and black, has had quite a journey, from the Seahawks, to a short time with the Panthers, and then landing on the Steelers roster before this move. Now, the Raiders haven't made it official yet, but reports from Rhattigan's agent make it clear, the deal is done. The big question is why? Why bring him in right now? It's not a flashy signing. It's not the kind of headline move fans get excited about. But if you look closely, you can see the logic behind it. The first and most obvious reason, Germaine Pratt's replacement. We're deep into the season, week 6, and the Raiders needed someone ready to go, not a player coming in cold. Rhattigan's been active, training, and connected with familiar faces from Pittsburgh, a front office link that made this move even easier. But there's another reason, maybe even a bigger one, special teams. Anyone watching closely knows the Raiders have struggled badly there. It's been a weak point all season, and the results have shown it. Rhattigan brings something this team desperately needs, discipline, consistency, and experience. He's logged over 1,000 snaps on special teams, made 38 tackles, and forced a fumble. That's not just effort, that's proof. The Raiders need that kind of player right now, someone who can bring energy and order to a part of the team that's been falling apart. This move may not shine on paper, but sometimes the smallest changes fix the biggest problems. Stay with me, because this roster shift might just be the spark the Raiders have been missing. The truth is, finding another linebacker on Germaine Pratt's level just isn't realistic right now. But the Raiders' next move might actually be smarter than it looks. This isn't a team fighting for the playoffs, not at 1-4. This is a team learning how to rebuild. And rebuilding means something different. It's not just replacing players, it's about giving new names a chance to grow. So instead of chasing another veteran, the Raiders might turn inward, relying on the talent they already have. Expect to see more of Jamal Adams, and possibly Charles Snowden and Malcolm Kuntz filling in where Pratt once stood. Now, I'll be honest, using Snowden or Kuntz in the same way as Pratt would be a mistake. They simply don't fit that mold. But if the team decides to use Jamal Adams more in that linebacker role, that could actually work. Even more exciting is the chance for young players like Tommy Eichenberg and Cody Lindenberg to step onto the field. Lindenberg hasn't even played this season, and Eichenberg deserves those reps. This could be their moment to prove themselves. It's the kind of move that says, we're building for the future, not patching the past. If you're a Raiders fan, you should see Rhattigan's signing as a door opening, one that lets fresh talent take the field. But make no mistake, there's a lot to fix. The offense has struggled, the defense has had its ups and downs, but the real disaster? Special teams. Statistically, the Raiders are at the very bottom, dead last in EPA and DVOA, two key measures of team efficiency. They're even on pace to set a league record for the lowest special teams performance in NFL history. That's how bad it's gotten. Even A.J. Cole, one of the best punters in the world, is having the worst season of his career, and that says everything about the chaos this unit is facing. The Raiders aren't just searching for answers, they're trying to stop the bleeding. And maybe, just maybe, Rhattigan's arrival is the first step toward that turnaround. Stay with me, because what comes next could reveal how serious this rebuild really is. Something's clearly off in Las Vegas. You can see it not just in the offense or defense, but in every inch of the game. When you compare A.J. Cole's performance this year to his past seasons, the drop is just as shocking as what we've seen from Geno Smith. Cole, once one of the most reliable punters in football, is now having the toughest stretch of his entire career, and that says a lot. And it's not just one problem. This season has been full of painful mistakes, a blocked field goal against the Bears, a punt return touchdown, a blocked punt, and a long list of missed tackles. The Raiders now rank 30th in the NFL in missed tackles on special teams. It doesn't stop there. The coaching staff even had to shuffle things around, putting Zamir White at kick return while Raheem Mostert, at 32 years old, stepped back from special teams duty. The whole situation has felt messy. That's why bringing in someone like Jon Rhattigan could quietly be one of the smartest moves of the season. He's played over 1,000 snaps on special teams, made 38 tackles, and he knows how to hold the line under pressure. He might not make headlines, but he can help this team stop the bleeding. And here's the stat that says it all: opponents facing the Raiders this year are starting, on average, from their own 37-yard line, the worst mark in the entire league. Meanwhile, the Raiders' offense begins their drives around the 26-yard line, also dead last in the NFL. That kind of field position is a silent killer. It means your defense is constantly under pressure, and your offense is always fighting uphill. So yes, this team has failed in all three phases of the game. But sometimes, progress begins with an unglamorous move, a quiet fix that lays the foundation for something stronger. Maybe, just maybe, Jon Rhattigan's signing is that kind of move. Stay with me, because the next roster change might reveal even more about what direction this team is heading in. Now let's talk about the other big move from the Raiders. After all the noise around special teams, this next signing might not shock anyone, but it's still an important one. The Raiders have added punter Brad Robbins to their practice squad. Why? Because A.J. Cole, their star punter, is battling a minor injury. He had to leave the game early against the Indianapolis Colts, and that left the team in a tricky spot. When you lose one of the most consistent legs in football, you don't wait, you act fast. That's exactly what the Raiders did. Robbins may not be a household name, but his journey tells you everything about the kind of player this regime wants. He's not a flash and fame signing, he's a worker. Brad Robbins played college football at Michigan from 2017 to 2022, building a reputation for calm under pressure. Then, in the 2023 NFL Draft, he was picked in the 6th round by the Cincinnati Bengals, where he spent 2 seasons before short stints with the Buffalo Bills, and now, the Las Vegas Raiders. It's another signing that fits the pattern we've seen all offseason: familiar faces, smart connections, and players tied to leadership that values discipline and trust. And Robbins wasn't the only one the Raiders brought in for a look. They also worked out punter Ryan Stonehouse and long snapper Luke Illumin, a move that instantly sparked questions online. Some fans began wondering whether Jacob Bobenmoyer, the team's current long snapper, might be in danger of losing his spot. It's too soon to tell, but one thing's clear: the Raiders aren't sitting still. Every decision, every workout, every roster tweak is part of something bigger, a reset built around accountability and consistency. Stay with me, because this next part could explain exactly what kind of identity the Raiders are trying to build. When a team brings in a new punter, it's never just one move, it's a chain reaction. You need another long snapper too, so everyone can sync up and get those reps in. Bobenmoyer's probably working with Daniel Carlson and A.J. Cole, while the new guy, Brad Robbins, settles in with the practice squad. Ryan Stonehouse was also in the mix, but it looks like Robbins won that competition and earned the spot. Now, everyone's wondering, what does this mean for AJ Cole? Honestly, I'm hoping he's good to go. Because if there's one thing this Raiders team needs right now, it's a reliable punter. Someone who can flip the field, control momentum, and give the defense a fighting chance, especially when the offense struggles to find the end zone. And look, maybe this isn't the year we expected. Maybe it's more about rebuilding, figuring out who's really ready to fight for the silver and black. If that means giving our young guys more snaps, letting them grow, I'm all for it. Because what Raider Nation truly wants to see right now, is progress. That's all we ask, just show us we're heading in the right direction. So yeah, today's moves. Linebacker John Rhattigan joins the squad, a solid special teams addition who'll open up chances for guys like Jamal Adams, Tommy Eichenberg, and Cody Lindenberg to get more work. And punter Brad Robbins, now part of the practice squad, steps in as we hold our breath on AJ Cole's status. Big or small, every change matters when a team's trying to find its rhythm again. The Raiders are making moves, and this might just be the start of something better.